Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Riley Foster of Foster's Custom Steel. Thought I'd do a little video this afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and I got a package in the mail. Of course, it wasn't this, but I wanted to give you an idea of the welder, I guess, era or decade that I buy the last welder. This one is probably 10 years old. Plasma torch, probably about the same. So I haven't bought equipment or a welder or anything like that. The last things I bought new was this unbelievable lathe. I'm gonna tell you, you don't know how important these things are until you get one and you realize tab A to fit in slot B. This makes it a whole lot easier and cleaner and better fitting. Same with the milling machine. But all of my tools and equipment are fairly old. This one was a cheap floor model bandsaw, and I've kind of modified it to do vertical cutting. This is kind of my workhorse. I've used it for, I guess, probably 15 years, maybe 20 years. Really good welder. I bought it at Northern Tool and Equipment. And you'd think that'd be kind of bottom line, medium grade, but this machine has done really well. I built the base and rollers and did a little bit of work on the deck and stuff like that, but it has been a spectacular saw. This was the newest welder I bought, and it might be 5 years old, and I gotta be perfectly honest with you, I think Miller is overthinking their welders. They put auto settings on there, which I do not use. I prefer to set my own speed and heat. It's got a delay on it and stuff like that when you hit the trigger, and it's just, I'm not that impressed with it. And these welders, this one was probably, I'd say $1,000. I'm pretty sure it is. That one was my first shop welder. I've had that probably 25 years, maybe, about 25 years. It got hit by lightning one time, and they replaced the main brain on it, and it has been running spectacular ever since. Weld aluminum with it. That's what the dual tanks on the back are for, aluminum or steel. And then I use this one a lot. This is that Pro MIG 135. I have ran, and I tell people, I have ran this thing till it tripped the heat surge button on it. I have run 14-foot long welds continuous on this. I was building tank housings, and they were 14-foot long, and literally this thing ran and ran and ran and ran. So it's old and it's used. I still use it often because it welds good. And then the one I have over here is the flux core welder, the 140. It welds good. I'm really pleased with it. I get great service out of it. We was just welding on a trailer, and that's why it's got tools piled up on it, but we were using it outside, and it's flux core. I think it's 30 thousandths wire. Pretty sure, but yeah, good welder. But back to the purpose of the video. I ordered, one of my students last week had a welder he wanted to get set up, and I set it up for him, and we used it a couple of times in here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to set this on the tripod so we can take a look at this thing. I was impressed, so I ordered one, and I think it was about 140 bucks total, getting it here, shipping and everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to try to run this welder to death. We're going to see what we can put it through. Now I'm just going to unbox it and take a look at it. There was just endless welders on Amazon that you could get. I can't even get the box. But I liked the fact this one was really lightweight. Yep. also, the settings on it, yeah, I believe this is the exact one that he had that we set up in the shop here and used. A really quick setup. I was very impressed. Not sure we got a, yeah, we got that in focus. I was very impressed. Now, now they want to call that a wire brush. I'm not quite sure what that is. Surely they don't mean for that to be a hammer or a chipping hammer, but that's the definition of sad right there. That's where that goes. In the floor, it heads of the trash. So when you look at this thing, it is tiny. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that might weigh, I can look it up, probably 10 pounds. And when I looked at Ed's, I thought, well, how in the world can you get much of a welder out of that? I mean, come on. I was really shocked and pleasantly surprised. And I'm sure this is more than likely 30 thousandths or 35 thousandths. Yes, 8 millimeter or 0.8 millimeter. So it is the 3 thousandths thick wire, and it's tiny. The other welder has 23 thousandths on it, and the reason they can't take this down to 23 thousandths is they can't make it small enough to get the flux inside the wire yet. So it comes with a stick welder lead. I'm going to test drive that too. Now, I don't know if we're going to run it that long. I may put it on pause here and try both of them. So right now I'm just going to hook up the wire welder. That's the stick welder lead, and it says that you can TIG weld with it. Well, to be honest with you, I have never TIG welded and I haven't needed to, but hey, I might give it a try. Yep. Just 1 second. So yeah, this is a fairly good looking lead. Like I said, for 140 bucks, I was impressed. It actually worked really well. And what I'll do is I'm going to put it on pause here just in a minute, and we're going to take time to hook this up, and we might strike an arc with it and let everybody just see how it's going to go. So the little spool of wire goes in there on this spool holder, feeds through here and runs out the nozzle. I don't think you just want to sit and watch me assemble this thing. So hold on just a minute, I'll get it going and we'll see about welding with it. But like I said the other night when we welded with his, I was, well, impressed enough to purchase one. All right, this thing's hooked up and running. I got the wire fed through it. There's one thing about this little machine. It is difficult for a full-grown man to get his hand in there to set that wire from that spool down through that nozzle. That took a little bit of work. So what I'm dealing with here, all of this is 11 gauge or 1/8 inch material. I always start out about mid-range on a welder, like, well, any of them I ever started out with, and I'll check the heat, see what I think, but I'm going to stick this piece on there and we'll see. tell you, for right out the gate, I don't know what the heat normally would be set on or anything. That welded really smooth. We'll clean that weld off and take a look at it. And I'm actually impressed. Try to get a close-up on the next one. Now, I wouldn't recommend welding dump truck beds with this little welder, but after you clean the flux off, that's a pretty good looking weld. Let's get down there a little bit closer. It really, I might even try to run some heat up on it just to see, well, see if it'll burn through. So we're gonna run the voltage up, turn the wire up a little bit, see what kind of heat that has. Like I said, I'll take a file and clean that bead off right there. That looked pretty good. Oh, and again, while I'll go right-handed, being the camera set up on the other side. Now, I will say, it doesn't feel like I'm getting as good a penetration with the Lincoln 135. I won't swear to it. I mean, it looks good. It's a good looking weld. Oh man, that's a good looking weld. I won't swear that it's not getting good penetration. Well, it is. Look at that. Nearly burned through. Hey. That is really good. I am going to enjoy trying to wear this thing out. You know what? Let's max the heat out. Let's see what it does with the heat maxed out. That's all you get on this side. So hold on. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna burn through. Hey, I'll tell you right now, that was a lot of heat on that 1/8 inch. Very impressive. Very impressive. I'm going to get a good close look at this. And I ain't going to pick it up without a glove either. There's one thing I learned over the years. No matter how long you've been welding, burning sucks. So don't burn your hand. Look at that. It almost came through that 1/8 inch material. So guys, I'm gonna give this a big thumbs up. If I cleaned that up, scruffed it with a file, those are good looking beads. I'm gonna tell you right now, this little welder, as far as I'm concerned, gets a big thumbs up. I think, again, I believe it was about $140 to the door. I went on Amazon and looked it up. There's the little, it's actually a 1/2 pound spool, but you can put a 1 pound spool in it. One thing they say it does do, and we're getting ready to find out, they say that once you turn it off, the fan still runs to cool it. Yeah, so it's still running. Oh, and didn't even, this is what you get for looking at the instructions and directions. So here is all of the speeds and feeds and the volts, amps and stuff that it takes to weld. And again, I've been welding long enough. I can set it on just about 1/2 and 1/2 on any welder, strike an arc and go from there. But dude, this thing, I mean, that don't weigh 10 pounds. It don't feel like it anyway. I'd tell you the name, but I can't pronounce that. Azuno. Anyway, I'm sure it's from China, and I'm gonna run the crap out of it. I'm gonna see just how much it'll take. So guys, remember to give me a thumbs up down there and share this content with someone that may be interested in buying a little welder. Like I said, a student of mine bought it and we tested it, and I said I'm gonna buy one, and did. So give me a like and a share and a comment. Share it with your friends. Remember, always give thanks and have a great day.